Welcome to Chips and Salsa, where we talk about security at Intel. I'm Jerry.
I'm CRob, and today we're here to talk about the Intel 2022 Product Security Report, and specifically the portion of the report that talks about the vulnerabilities we addressed in 2022. Got my patching hat ready, Jerry.
Nice patch hat. Yes, but before we get into the numbers, it's important to note that this report is about product security assurance and all of the things that Intel does to strive for the most secure products in the world. This includes what happens during product development, like having a robust security development lifecycle
Mhm.
and conducting hackathon events. Um, it also includes our investment in maintaining product security assurance after a product ships, such as our product security incident response or PCERT team, who manage vulnerability reports. Things like our bug bounty program and our Intel app update, our Intel platform update process. We use to coordinate disclosure of these vulnerabilities with hundreds of downstream customers.
Right. And as the report will show, a huge part of our investment is in finding and mitigating vulnerabilities ourselves. Internally, that means ongoing code reviews, red teaming, and those hackathon events you mentioned. And externally, we invest heavily with our public bug bounty program, including new events that launched last year called Project Circuit Breaker.
Yeah, so let's jump into the data to
Yeah,
see the impact of these investments. On this first slide, the chart on the lower left shows that we found 56% of the 243 vulnerabilities addressed last year internally, and another 37% through our bug bounty programs. So these proactive investments combined account for 93% of all of those 243 issues.
right. And this is our fourth annual product security report. So if you look at the top right, you can see that our 2022 numbers closely align with the 4 year averages, where again, our proactive investments account for a total of 93% of the issues we've addressed since 2019.
So next, we'll start to break down the CVEs by product categories, and then go a little deeper to break them down by severity and internally or externally found.
hmm And on the slide we're looking at right now, you can see the CVE count by product category, which we've aligned to the product categories found on Intel.com. And here you start to see all the issues that were addressed.
Yeah, and the bottom chart goes a little deeper to break the product categories down. So, for example, the processors from the top chart included 30 BIOS CVEs and 21 CPU or hardware CVEs.
Hmm. Yeah, and next we break that data down from the previous slide into internally and externally found. And I think it's really interesting to note that the categories like chipset and processors are usually firmware related, and networking and software categories generally make up device drivers and software applications and other utilities that Intel creates.
Yeah, so aside from the networking category, the bulk of firmware related updates are found by Intel, while most of the external reported issues are software related.
Hmm.
Project Circuit Breaker is an innovative program where Intel engineers provide training to researchers to help them make the jump from researching software issues to hardware issues.
Yeah, and I think we did some really interesting videos with Katie Noble and Chris Holt that talk about just that.
Yeah, definitely worth a view. So up next is a breakout of severity using the common vulnerability scoring system, and as you can see, the majority of issues were in the medium range.
Mhm.
So CRob, let's look at severity by product category.
Sounds great. Here we go. And on this slide, you're looking at the severity of internally found issues. The obvious thing that stands out is the networking communications and the IO category. Earlier, we mentioned our ongoing investments that include the code reviews, the red teaming, and those hackathon events. And this category for 2022 is a great example of how those internal teams put a huge focus on their products and find and mitigate these issues before they become publicly known.
Yep. And then on the next slide, we do the same breakout for externally reported issues. And as mentioned, we see most of them in the software category, followed by systems and devices, which is a category that includes things like the Intel NUC product.
Mhm. And the last set of data we're going to talk about today are hardware CWEs, and they're assigned to all of the hardware specific vulnerabilities that were addressed. In 2022, this was the first full year of us using these new CWEs.
Yeah, that's right. And Intel's Jason Fung was instrumental in helping to pull together an
Yes.
industry effort around creating those. And viewers can have a look at the video we did with Jason last year on that topic.
Yeah, and I think CWEs are really important for identifying a common language to describe a type of vulnerability that makes it much easier to classify them for analysis and feedback back into our SDL program. And this is where we seek to identify improvements to tooling and training that's needed in an effort to catch any possible escapes before products ship.
Well, so that was the quick rundown of the 2022 CVE data portion of the Intel 2022 product security report. We encourage viewers to have a look at the full report to see,
Mm.
just some of the proactive efforts and investments Intel makes in product security assurance.